What is going on? It's Helix Gaming here, and today I've been given the special opportunity to host a brand new, fully included mystery biome mod. This could include UI changes, mobs, weapons, decorations, or anything at all. But be sure to stick around to the very end reveal for a huge surprise. As you could probably already guess from the title, there's a catch. This mod is being worked on by 7 modders who aren't allowed to communicate with each other. Each modder has a task of spending 6 hours designing and implementing features and parts of this mod. Along each step of the way, I'll be taking a sneak peek into the modders' creations to see what the previous person has accomplished, stepping through the notes they have left me, showcasing their work and ideas, and then finally, at the end, I'll review the entire mod. Will it all blend nicely? Will it be spaghetti code? And will it even work? I have one spoiler, and that is that one of the developers have left a secret in there for me to find. So be sure to stick around as I'll be exploring the mod and checking it out with my first impressions right at the end. But for now, let's jump into modder number 1, Save. Save is the brains behind this concept, so without me letting you know what he has previously worked on, he has thrown together a quick video to summarize, and because he doesn't speak English, I'll just do some translating over the top. Hi, I'm Eryr, better known as Save, and I'm the developer of Aphoria mod, RPG mod, and several other mods. Today, I'm not just the organizer of this project, I'm also the first modder, so I'm going to show you what I've done. The first thing I made was a blank biome where only sheep would spawn. The idea was to create a blank canvas for other modders. I wanted to create an epic boss. I already had the idea of what it was going to be, but I didn't want to leave the heavy work of drawing it to the others, so I did it myself. I'm not an artist and it took me quite a while, but I'm still pretty happy with the outcome. I programmed the dragon, made it a bit more interesting, and gave it unique traits. It's a bit basic, but I hope others will improve it. And that's all from me. Goodbye. Up next, we have KingEnder04. He has generously taken the effort to make a video to showcase his own creations.
Hey, I'm KingEnder04. I did Volpus Nova, and I also was the second developer for this video. Now, the funny thing about it is that I lost like 2/3 of my footage. It was a black screen, but at the very least, most of what I did was spriting. I also hadn't played the game in like 3 months, so I had to explore all the new content that they added because I didn't even know there was a creative mode. The only thing that was actually sprited when I got my hands on the mod were the dragon, and that was about it. There was also this dark paladin that was implemented, but I didn't touch that at all. What I tried to do was build around the dragon, and I turned the biome from this giant white area into more of like a burnt forest kind of deal. I honestly spent most of my time working on the tree for the biome, and that was pretty fun. So my main focus was just giving the biome a makeover. By the end, I had maybe a day or so to add in a couple new items. I made a whole set based off of the dragon using the demonic set as a base. Then I also made the scales that the dragon would drop so that you could make the armor. These ones took me a minute, but then I did actually find something that I thought looked nice. Instead of doing the sort of chainmail looking style, I went with the more of a gradient across the whole thing, and that just looked a lot better. I also gave the jewel a spray. I honestly really like how that one came out, so one of the last things that I had done was give the dragon armor effect the ability to set enemies on fire on hit, and then I handed it back to Save. Thank you guys so much for having me. Oh, and go check me out, please. I imagine that they have a link for me in the description.
Thank you for that, KingEnder. Next, we are jumping into the third developer, Wither, who is in the process of creating a new biome mod that they have just put on hold to start this project. In the background right now, you can see some small footage and teasers of what was done, but here's the breakdown and the notes that was left for me. Wither added a recipe for Draconic armor, added scorched rock and made it spawn in the caves, added Lavanite ore and made it spawn in the caves, added Lavanite bar, fixed the Paladin's jewel being consumed when used during the day, added the scorched caveling, removed all the water in the caves, added a draconic sword and draconic glaive. So to me, it seems that a volcanic theme is starting to emerge. Thank you, Wither. Jumping into the fourth developer, Eryr. Known for modding in patches to modify and improve upon crafting recipes, shops, and behaviors, coming in with quite a few implementations to further this mod along too, with the addition of a dragon arena, journal challenges, biome changes, loot tables, and much more. So let's jump into the notes he has left for me. Number 1, implemented a dragon arena preset that can spawn on any layer of the biome. This isn't guaranteed due to the size constraints in relation to the island size. He did say, in hindsight, I would have set things such that it's 1 per layer and spawns with a paladin nearby. Number 2, implemented journal challenges for surface and caves, but not the deep caves. They don't have any special rewards yet, although these challenges are working as intended, but lack icons. Also added a few entries to the mob list for the journal, but that's not complete, nor the treasure section. Number 3, updated the surface grass texture to a nice ominous grey, complete with fog effects. Number 4, added some new textures, although they're not implemented in the game yet. Number 5, implemented basic mob spawns for each layer. Zombies for caves, skeletons for deep caves. Paladins should spawn on both, but the spawn rate is bugged, so they spawn like regular bosses rather than mini bosses. Number 6, implemented loot tables for chest rooms. They're working as intended. Implemented crate loot, but forgot to implement that in the actual level generation code. Number 7, modified level generation code to include a lot more lava, plus changes to preset generation. Maybe a bit too much lava, but I figured it would make for an interesting challenge. 8, added localization stuff for the English language. Missed some stuff, I think. Number 9, Eryr has added Night Dragon projectiles that now inflict the on-fire debuff. Developer number 5, Kamicazi, a well-liked Necesse moderator / elder who has made a couple of mods adding some crazy items to the game. Kamicazi added a bunch of unique items to the mod, with the dragon fight in the background showcasing some of them. But here's what Kami had to say. I started by looking at the art and theme of the biome, and after seeing only 2 weapons, then made some concept art for new ones, which took about 20 to 30 minutes. Here's a quick peek at the concept art for you guys. After this, I moved on to create weapon sprites like a bow, shotgun, and a staff, and even a trinket sprite, which in total took about an hour. After the sprite art was done, I added in the trinket, which took about an hour, and another hour was spent on adding the weapons. Jumping into the second last developer, Jakapoa, quite often seen participating in the Necesse community days and creating many mods ranging from storage solutions, durability, and even an entire ranged arsenal. But without going too much further, he has done a phenomenal job at taking the microphone and showcasing everything he has done.
Since I was going to be one of the last few people to work on the mod, I decided to focus on cleaning up the existing content, patching bugs, and fixing any large content gaps. I first made a big list of everything that one would normally find in a biome and went through checking things off one by one. This left me with a good idea on what needed to be done. After squashing every bug and incomplete feature I could find, I turned my attention to the biggest content gap, which were the deep caves. At this point, the deep caves were still a copy of the regular caves. Since I only had 6 hours, I knew I wouldn't have enough time to add everything one would expect to be in a cave, so I took some shortcuts. Instead of adding a unique ore, I decided the deep caves would be a resource-rich biome that would have higher ore spawn rates and drop rates. I added in all the default deep cave ores and gave obsidian a higher spawn rate since, you know, lava. Speaking of which, I nearly doubled the lava generation rate to give the biome a more distinct volcanic feeling. I added in some wall and floor variants, and to complete the look, I actually moved the cave textures down to the deep cave and replaced it with the darker palette. This gave it a nice feeling of going deeper into a volcanic area. Speaking of caves, along with the palette swap, I added in wall and floor variants there as well. I added in a default cave ores, gave it a unique crate, and bam, 2 levels basically done. I finished up by making the surface more scorched by reducing the vegetation generation rate, adding in patches of gravel to break up the flat grassy look, and I removed the lily pad since the green clashed with the great palette. I then went through and rebalanced almost all the items people had added so they'd fit in more with the vanilla island progression system. I decided the island to be an alternate desert as the dragon boss had roughly the same stats as the ancient vulture. I moved things around so there'd be an even distribution of items and threw in an extra armor set and tools. The last thing I did was fill out all the missing journal sections, mainly treasure and resource entries. I hit my 6 hours right as I was getting to the deep cave challenges, so there's only 2 very basic challenges.
Not only did he add his own content too, but polished up quite a bit of leftover areas that fleshed out so much more of the mod. Finally, developer number 7, Darkluke 1111, who has previously created a neat overhaul mod to spice up the UI, so let's see what he got up to. Jumping into his notes, he says, "When I received the project, I first launched the game with the mod loaded and explored what the others did. I really like the new weapons, but I'm a fan of the vanilla weapons that have special moves on left click, like the katana. So I wanted to try add something like this. I didn't have a lot of time, so I put it away for now to do other stuff and maybe come up with a few ability ideas along the way. I already knew that I probably wouldn't have enough time to implement a unique ability for all the weapons, but I wanted to at least make one, so I decided to do some kind of spin to win attack for the sword. Basically an area of effect ability that damages all enemies around you while you spin your sword around you. The idea was that the player accumulates a heat buff while successfully attacking enemies, and when a certain amount of heat is reached, the ability can be activated to do heavy damage around the player over a short time. Maybe also regenerate some resilience. Unfortunately, I managed to injure my hand on the same day I got the project, which kinda messed up my schedule and forced me to type with only one hand. So I didn't manage to accomplish and implement everything. The skill works, but it has no cooldown or heat requirement yet, which makes it kinda overpowered in its current state. The graphics could also use some improvements. In the end, I roughly spent 3 hours to implement it, and I'm kinda sad that I didn't manage to spend more time on it, but I'm still glad that I was a part of this and I really liked what the others were able to do before me. So with everything done, all the developers done, all their parts pieced together, let's see how it all fits together. All right, jumping into the mod, let's see what we've got going. So just to be clear, I've given myself a quick little starter pack because this mod is set to be experienced anywhere between the deserts and the pirate. So anywhere between then, I've given myself equipment post deserts, so beating the vulture. So here you can see I've got my vulture's burst. And then what I've got here is just some quick little trinkets with some random enchantments I found from the previous biomes. So frozen wave for some crit damage. I managed to grind out a balanced foci, just so that way if there's anything in this mod that I want to try out, it's kind of like a balanced hybrid class. I've got some attack speed, movement speed, and some lighting for the area. Got my assassin's cowl for some crit chance and project velocity, and a frozen heart just for some extra health. Got the hover boots from the plains biome, and then just some demonic armor. I've also given myself the ostrich mount just for some movement speed and to get around quicker. And then here I've got the recipe book just so I can kind of have a quick squeeze, see if I can find anything extra. The stink flask, some dynamite, some bombs, the usual quest items, some travel scrolls, torches, and then just a little bit of potions that I found along the way. And then in here you can see that I have got kind of just the loot that I accumulated along the way getting to this point. So in terms of my settlement, this is it. I've got the Elder and the Mage. So I've only got 600 bucks, 700 bucks. So let's see what the exotic merchant has. Anything extra in here? Some steak might actually be good for a boss if I have to fight a boss. No doubt I do after seeing what they have all done. But jumping into it, let's open the journal. So the Scorched Biome Surface has some journal rewards. 2, equip a full Draconic armor set, craft a Draconic weapon, and defeat the Night Dragon. So to defeat the Night Dragon, I remember seeing that someone had created an area. So to use and activate this, I would need a boss summon. But I don't have one of them, so I'm gonna have to dig down and find one. So let's clear out some trees and check out the caves below. So here we can see Scorched Sapling. And if I look on the map itself, I can't zoom in here for you guys, but there is a new biome icon here for the Scorched biome, which is really cool. So let's just cut a few more of them down. So let's see what we've got. Place some torches down just so it's a bit brighter for you guys. And here we go. Scorched Biome Caves. Collect 10 Lavanite ore. Defeat a Dark Paladin. And kill 3 Scorched Cavelings. So let's set off to do that. Okay. All right. So I found my first bit of what I'm assuming is Lavanite ore. And I'm just going to quickly take out some of these enemies. I am looking for that Dark Paladin. I don't know where he spawns. But I also know that there is a chance for these. Oh, there's a caveling. I gotta get this caveling. Hover boots, coming in clutch there. All right, I collect 10 Lavanite ore, perfect. And what I was saying as well is that sometimes these crates, there we go, can drop Lavanite ore, which is perfect because I want to need as much as I can get. So let's just clean out this place and quickly gather some of this. That is indeed Lavanite ore, awesome. And then Scorched Stone is their own stone variation of the caves. So that's really cool. I don't know if there's a secondary ingredient I need. I know some of the caves. Oh, there's another one I need it. Whoa. I just stumbled across a whole nest of them. I don't know which one to go for. All right, at least I know that they're around. That's crazy. I'm going to use the vulture's bite here. It kind of does do piercing damage, and then I can kind of just kill as many as I can. All right, there's kill 3 Scorched Cavelings. Nice. I'm actually going to kind of hunt down the rest of them just so I can get extra ore really quickly. So I've just stumbled across this chest, and inside, oh, there's a zombie. All right, inside it, I've got the mining charm, speed potion. There's Lavanite bars, which is huge because I'm going to need them. Just, these enemies could leave me alone for 2 seconds would be amazing. Torches, bombs, scrolls, and a Paladin's Jewel used to summon a fierce dragon at the Scorched Altar at night. Perfect. That is what I needed. So I want to head to the surface, I think. Or actually, no, I want to continue to look around, see if I can find more loot, and then head to the surface. So I'll catch you in the surface, or if I find anything more exciting. I also don't know if it's intended to have this much loot, but there's a chest over here. There's one over here with some more Lavanite bars. So Vambrace, some potions, might as well take them. And then I can also see one down here as well. And they have kept the crystal sub-biomes in this biome too, which is really nice considering it's pretty much volcanic. Air vessel for 2 extra dashes. Nice, and another Paladin's Jewel. That is amazing. So I'm gonna head back to the surface and see what I can find. Okay, so it did say use the Scorched Altar at night. So what's time is it? It is night, it's pretty much midnight. So I want to go take a look and see what I can find. Well, check out this boss. Do I need to buff up? Who knows? Let's just activate it. Oh god, I just got slaughtered. So, oh man, I am doing no damage to this boss. Holy heck, I'm gonna get destroyed. I'm gonna have to maybe create some Lavanite armor, but this is definitely harder than the vulture. All right, I died. Okay, I did less than a quarter of HP. That was rough. Good to know. When I activate that thing, stand a little bit away from the altar because it kind of spawns on top of you. So let's get my stuff back, and I want to come back later when I'm a bit more geared up, I reckon. So whilst I wait for everything to smelt, I'm going to open up this recipe book and see what we can create with the scorched stuff. So a scorched log is obviously any recipe with a log, but I did find there is the scorched wood floor and the scorched wood wall, and then for the stone they have added recipes for stone brick floor, stone door, and stone wall. Now what I might do just to take a look at it is I'm going to go grind a ton of this stuff and come back and then kind of build over the top of this stuff so that I can show you. Okay, so I was just exploring and all of a sudden there's a boss icon that's just popped up and I can see it down here. So I'm actually gonna go check that out. I thought the Dark Paladin was just an enemy. Turns out it's a little mini boss, I think. So can I fight my way to you? I'm gonna actually blow this area up, kind of create myself a big open arena, I think, while gathering all this stone that I needed. Is he coming to me? He's coming to me. Oh god. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my distance. I don't know what his attack style is like, so I want to keep my distance. I don't know if he's aggressive. Oh, he's getting faster. He's getting faster. He's getting faster. Holy heck. Oh, whoa. Can I kind of cheese him on the Oh, he does so much damage. I'm hoping I can just kite him around this lava. I think that's the goal. I've already had to use a thing. Can I hit him from here? Good to know that he doesn't heal. Oh, he just decided to run across the lava to me. Whoa, okay. All right. Paladin's Jewel obtained. He was tough. All right. Probably needed some better armor for him, but I did manage to kind of get that kill anyway, so good to know. Man, I'm only playing on the regular difficulty. On brutal, this would be crazy. Oh, got another dynamite back. Okay, so I think I should have enough stone now to finish building my base. So if I come back up here, yeah, as you can see, I kind of got started, but I would like to finish it off. Just like that, it's done. So the really nice kind of brownish orange tinted rock and stone actually looks really nice and matches the theme for this biome perfectly. Also adds just a nice, it's just an off color that's kind of niche that you wouldn't really see around, and actually I really like that. So jumping into the adventurer's journal, we have done 10 Lavanite ore, the Dark Paladin, and the 3 Scorched Cave Wings. So we've completed the Scorched Biome Caves. We hit claim, 500 coins, always nice. That'll get me a couple upgrade rerolls, I guess. So I need dragon scales. Ooh, do I have to defeat the boss to get dragon scales first? Interesting. I might actually have to defeat the boss to get dragon scales. Does the journal show it? If I go here, dragon scales, the Dark Paladin does not, and none of this stuff does either. Dragon scales in here? No, so I do have to defeat the boss in order to get draconic armor. And is that also to get draconic weapons? It is. So draconic, I can get draconic tools, just not weapons. I have to defeat the boss for that first. So I'm probably gonna need a quartz upgrade. Okay, so I'm back. Managed to get myself the quartz gear. I don't know if that's any better. I think my total armor went down a little bit, but my burst of movement speed after being hit might actually come in handy. And I'm also added the air vessel that I found for 2 dash charges with the force of wind. So I'm hoping with 3 dashes now, I should be a little bit more agile. Buff up. Let's activate this thing from as far away as possible if I can. He still hit me off the bat. That's unfortunate. He's just so big. It's a struggle, but that's all right. Oh, hitbox was kind of rough there, but that's okay. It's okay, as long as I'm kind of handling it here. I'm doing good, I'm doing good. I'm gonna die. I don't think I'm gonna get a heal in time. Ooh, rough. Okay, that was better, that was better. So I reckon full Ivy armor and some upgrades. For sure, I got this. All right, so I'm back with a new strategy this time. Plan to go in with 3 vultures. With the athletic, I have got the armor bonus on everything except for, yeah, everything, I guess. And then hopefully that's enough armor to kind of tank a few more hits. And then I've got the ostrich mount so I can run around faster. I know that kind of makes the speed potions useless, but I'm hoping that'll be enough. And with the Ivy armor set, I also occasionally spawn slimes as well. So that should do the trick. And worst comes to worst, I can always use my bow at the same time. So let's get this fight going. Again, hit right off the bat, which is unfortunate. Buff up. All right, dashing is way better than the vulture. Oh, way better than the ostrich, sorry. The vultures aren't really doing the trick for me, which is unfortunate. They're a little too slow to be doing. Oh, there we go. They do consistent damage here. That's good. That's good. I'm just a little bit too slow too, so I don't know how to kind of tackle this boss, unless it's like a biome that's for, you know, the biome itself is for what would I say? The biome is for like after the desert boss, maybe the pirates, but then the boss itself is like a deep caves come back once you've got gear kind of boss. I also wonder how many times I got to kill it to get enough scales for everything. This is, no, I was so close with 15%. Ah, man. All right, I don't think summons was the way to go. So let's reevaluate and I'll come back. I'm gonna have to come back in like tungsten armor. Let's get rid of this old armor. I've now got tungsten because I'm not holding back now. I got my bone stuff. This is all with damage bonuses, some speed boosts through here and some armor just to kind of mix it up. I got a masterful tungsten bow and I'm hoping now that that is enough. If this isn't, I also upgraded my potions to greater health potions. And if that isn't enough, I'm gonna go gather life quartz and get me an extra 100 HP. So here we go. Again, buff up. Might as well just use a summon that's extra damage. Oh, yikes. I got stuck there. That was on me. Oh. So the hitbox is on the shadow, which is what I got to look out for. All right, that's good to know though. Yeah, hit the Elder. Yes, I don't need the Elder. I was wondering why my vultures were hiding underneath him, but it turns out that it's just because the shadow is the hitbox. And now that I've learned that, it might be a bit easier to kind of dodge. Yeah, it's much easier to dodge. Maybe I also upgrade my arrows to bone arrows. But at the moment I'm getting some resilience up as well, so I think I'm doing pretty well. My vulture's just doing his own thing now. All right, we got it this time. All right. Once I figured that out, that was much better. All that for 28 dragon scales. Whether or not that is enough for a full draconic set, I don't know. But I've only got 13 bars, so I'm gonna have to go back and get more. So off we go. Cool, so the tools I don't need, the tools I made earlier, and they're actually a little bit stronger than the Ivy ones, coming at 125, and these are 135. So they do quite fit with the deep stuff. So the scaling might be a little out, but I think the biome itself is, yeah, before the pirate, but the boss is still after the deep area, I think. As for the weapons, let's see, I can only craft so much. I want to do the armor set first, because that uses 24. The armor itself is significantly worse than what I've got though, but I need it for the challenge. So what's this one? That's a magic build. A melee. So let's just craft the full set. Oh, I don't have enough. More dragon scales. Oh, I severely miscalculated there. All right, so let's fight the boss again and I'll be back. Okay, we are back. I have got 62 dragon scales, the 6 last time, and then 2 extra kills. So hopefully that's enough. Full set. Let's do it. Let's equip it now. Get the challenge done. So is that all of the challenges that I had to do? They're done, and the surface was crafted draconic weapon still. So let's do that. But this is pretty much a melee build where I take negative 10% damage taken. Okay, so that's actually huge. That kind of the difference here between 78 defense and 58, that may actually be enough to kind of offset that. I don't know the math exactly off the top of my head, but negative 10% damage is huge. What else can I make with dragon scales then? Okay, so there is a jewel, it's a pendant. Burning targets hit with a critical hit, temporarily lose 50% armor. Whoa, increases attack speed by 15%. And so if you had like a full crit build, and this thing, that can go mental. So I'm gonna have to try that out. So I made it a tungsten anvil, so it has to be part of the deep caves, which is fine. And the rest of the stuff is demonic. Oh, hang on, there's some tungsten there. Okay, so there is some deep stone stuff. The deep cave stuff. Interesting. So I'll have to check that out. So yeah, it definitely shows that it's like a hybrid between the two, which makes it a good fit, really, because it makes you come back and refight the boss again so you can make this stuff. That's really cool. Let's see. I'm not gonna show you everything because obviously, you know, you just want to explore this for yourself. So I'll leave some to the imagination too. I'm gonna go back, craft up this emerald one, the emerald jewel, and see what that is all about. All right, I got myself some compacted ash, and I needed this for some of the weaponry. So as much as I would like the draconic bow, the sword looks really cool and has its own special attack. You know what? I'll let you guys see that one. I've kind of showcased it as the developers were creating it, but I'm going to take the bow anyway. The bow is just range, and there's potentially another boss to fight, so I'm going to take the bow. I'll take the bow. Alrighty, here we are, and I'm just gonna grab this draconic bow, which I think is a huge, massive upgrade. So I'm also gonna enchant it with the masterful upgrade, and then see what the damage is at after that, and then tackle the boss with draconic armor. It's probably way too low, but I'm gonna try it out anyway. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, it's my mascot is Rejects. Oh my god, that is so good. Oh, it's a great bow. That's why it does so much damage. Okay, I'm getting slaughtered here. I gotta hit the shadow. That's the spot that I gotta hit. All right, I'm not prepared for this boss whatsoever. Throwing me off, that Rejects, my mascot, has just completely thrown me off. 30,000 HP. There is no way I am taking down that one. It has also killed my mage too. But let's run back in. I want to spawn it again so I can show you guys. But that is amazing. This was the Easter egg that Save said he was going to incorporate for me right at the very end. So that is wild. So let's spawn him in again. Heal up. Spawn him in. And just kind of float around. Look at him, because that is awesome. This is the first time that I've actually seen anything of myself in the game. So that is crazy. Look at him fly there. Just amazing. Thank you for adding that in. That is crazy. But yes, so for everyone watching, that is probably the end of the mod. At least a showcase anyway. I might do a let's play with this included another day. So that is amazing. As for the super secret announcement, for those that are watching right now, this mod is currently going live this second. So be sure to jump over to the Steam Workshop. From there, you can just click download on the Scorched Bio mod, and off you go. I hope you all enjoy this game and this mod. The 7 devs have done a fantastic job at this, and I would love to see this mod completely fleshed out with a little bit more time, but who knows what may happen. 1.0 is also around the corner, so have yourselves a happy time zone, and I hope to see you all next time. So happy time zone means good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you may be, and I hope to see you then. Bye.